Lady Marjorie, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss.
Okay.
From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining.
You're very kind, my lady.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford.
Okay.
Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the Northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself. Her
Wie habt ihr
face was full
geantwortet?
of
Das ist das
mirth as she
Wichtigste.
said it.
How did you respond?
I told her you are one of my most trusted handmaidens, that you can hardly be blamed for the actions of your father and brother. Nonetheless, she demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford
In
any
Königsmund ist es hart.
conflict with
Ich werde
Cersei,
tun, was
whether
ihr von mir
you so
verlangt.
I'll do as you ask, my lady.
I knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
Gut, mach ich.
See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us. You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Ja, ja, ich weiß schon, wie das läuft. Das Spiel der Throne.
Good luck.
Habe ja die Serie lang genug geguckt. Kann mir schon ungefähr ausmalen, was ich dir zu sagen habe. Oh, Tyrion. Tyrion.
You can do this.
The Iron Throne.
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Oh, Peter Dinklage hat sogar selber
Grace?
synchronisiert. Das ist ja geil.
With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of Haus Forrester.
Your Grace.
The girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
Haus
mir fast
Forrester is
gedacht.
a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She
Unsere
is.
Treue ist
House
unerschütterlich.
Forrester's loyalty to the crown never wavers, Your Grace.
I see. And yet... For centuries, the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
Ah, ich stimme zu, Eure
Yes, Your
Wahl.
Grace. They are traitors.
The Starks were your liege lord, yet you name them traitors so easily.
Clearly her loyalty wavers quite a lot.
If she has any loyalty at all. Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Ist der neue Wächter
He
des
is the
Norden.
Warden of the North, Your Grace.
He is. And I the Queen Regent and Tyrion the Master of Coin.
The girl has a remarkable talent for answering questions while in fact saying nothing at all.
Ja, ich habe lang genug die Serie geguckt.
Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on Haus Forrester.
Forrester Ironwood does seem rather unique.
To our mutual benefit, Your Grace.
And at the pleasure of your king. It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes,
Ja,
Your Grace.
alles.
I would do anything.
I see.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
Ich werde
I won't
nicht
judge her,
über...
Your Grace. I wasn't there. I didn't face her decisions.
Aren't you a delightful girl? If only one could flit through life without ever holding an opinion of their own.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question. Go on.
My loyalties would never conflict, Your Grace.
That's a coward's answer. I will not have my time wasted by a northern girl who thinks she can play games. Who do you choose?
I must choose Marjorie, Your Grace.
Clearly your handmaiden does not have her priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Nicht so gut gelaufen. Obwohl, Tyrion fand's lustig.
I'll walk you out.
Cool. Okay.
This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the
Vielen
best
Dank,
of
Lord
circumstances.
Tyrion.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
You were brave to declare your loyalty to Lady Marjorie. No doubt she was pleased, but Cersei, she will not soon forget what you said. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining. But it certainly wasn't what Cersei was expecting.
I wasn't trying to please her.
I think that was clear to everyone. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The Crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the Crown in this regard. Not her.
Was
What
schlag
are you
dir vor?
suggesting?
I suppose the Crown could be persuaded to secure Ironwood from Haus Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance. And it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that?
Ja.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
Vielen Dank
Thank
für
you
den
for the advice, Lord
Rat.
Tyrion.
Just be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Mira, I was worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing.
Nicht besonders
It
gut.
didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back. Here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah?
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour. Which I doubt is Dornish wife.
You'll get us in trouble.
We're just having some fun. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands.
Naja.
Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him. And he's
Ich
always
möchte
treated
nicht zur
Lady Marjorie
Königin
well.
I
werden.
don't want to be queen, no matter who I'd have to marry.
Don't want to be queen? You Northerners. You'd make a perfect scepter. Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the 7 Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match! Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing? Well?
I'm sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was rather disappointed by your display, Mira. I'm just glad it's over. King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Once you are queen, the lords and ladies will do their best to please you.
You learn very quickly. Your words to Cersei were brave, but I know you must fear what the Boltons might do to your family.
Ja.
I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
So mir, ja, sie ist eigentlich immer cool gewesen in der Serie, ne? So, sie hat auch Sansa versucht zu helfen und so. Klar wollte sie mal an die Macht kommen, aber Es war nie jemand, der moralisch irgendwie verwerflich war in der Serie eigentlich.
I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her. Go on. Ask.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know Haus Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise. But my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene. Is the situation that dire?
You can't, my lady. King Joffrey won't like it. Just think how he turned on Lady Sansa.
Ich hoffe, ihr versteht.
My mother feels it is urgent, my lady. She's unfamiliar with King's Landing and its politics. I hope you can understand that.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
Königsweg, Wolfswald.
Seven hells. Let's play a little game, shall we?
Oh,
Did
Ramsay
you know my
Snow.
ancestors wore the skins of their enemies as a coat? Not my best work, unfortunately. I suppose I have fallen out of practice. But he didn't make it easy, what with all that bloody noise.
Like a drowning cat. I thought he'd never stop.
As my father likes to say, a naked man holds few secrets. But the flayed man holds none.
Pity he didn't know your father is the Warden of the North.
He does now. How much further is it to these Forresters?
A day, my lord. 2 at most.
What was that?
My lord?
Shh! Listen.
Shit.
There. Hear that? I know I heard something.
Bleib hier.
Never mind. We've wasted enough time already.
Ich glaube, es war die richtige Entscheidung. Ramsay. Wir müssen ganz schnell an die Mauer, wenn die schon so nah an Haus Forrester sind. Wen haben sie da gehäutet?
Bloody hell.
Oh. Jetzt sind wir wieder im Haus Forrester. Ich glaube ja. Ja, da ist
Lord
der
Ethan, as I was saying, you are young. And there are those within these walls who are uncertain of your leadership. But 300 generations of Forrester lords stand behind you. Lord Gerhard the Tall, who founded our house, and your grandfather, Lord Thorin the Bold, who seized back the river valley from the White Hills.
What did they call my father?
Lord Gregor the Good. He was fair and wise, and courageous in battle.
Ich möchte so sein wie er.
I want to be like that, like my father.
Your father was well regarded by nearly everyone. It took years, if not decades, to earn. These were your father's people to lead and protect, and now they're yours. But your father did not bear this responsibility alone. He and every Forrester Lord before him chose one man whom they trusted above all others, the Lord Sentinel. Forrester traditions demand that a new Lord Sentinel must be chosen.
Keep walking, you craven son of a whore. Move! Summon the Lord! We need his judgment.
I've done nothing wrong! I was only trying to survive!
Eigentlich müssten wir den Danke nehmen, weil...
Lord Ethan.
Okay. Warum der Tritt? Erstmal so.
Why did you kick this man?
This craven is a deserter and a thief.
Deserteur.
This house is doomed! We all fucking know it!
Quiet, thief. Eric was supposed to be guarding our weapons, but instead we caught him stealing them.
2 shields and 3 spears.
Wer hat's von uns gestohlen?
You stole from us.
I feared for my life. Yes, my lord. I fled. We should all flee. It's not
Nein.
stealing if you're taking what's yours by
Guck mal, der Eddard Stark war auch voll der Nette. Und der hat ja gleich in der ersten Folge einen Deserteur geköpft. Also.
Where's our pay? Our share of bread and wine grows smaller every day.
Leave the poor man alone!
Mercy. Go. Lord Ethan, I know these words are hard, but they're honest. This house is falling. We'll never survive the coming winter.
Du gibst deine Schuld
Then
also
you
zu.
admit to the crime, in front of all gathered here.
I am only what this house made me. You cannot expect a man to live on loyalty alone.
You'll address him as Lord. Lord Ethan, you must decide the punishment. Lord Gregor always took a thief's fingers. 3 of them.
Now may not be the time for harsh punishment. The men are on edge as it is.
Men need to know they cannot do whatever the fuck they please. Their lord will not permit it.
You can send him to the war.
Show him mercy, my lord. He stole from us. Make him pay for what he stole. Give us justice.
Fuck him!
I will decide.
Send him to the wall.
Leave the poor man
Take his
alone!
fingers. He's a thief.
If you punish me, you'll be punishing an innocent man. It will be an injustice, my lord. Please, my lord. My family depends on me.
Er hat eine Familie. Also, schicke ich ihn zur Mauer. Ist es eigentlich... Also, ich hab eine Wahl. Ich lasse entweder Gnade walten, was schwachsinnig wäre, weil er hat von uns gestohlen. Also muss er bestraft werden. Wenn ich ihm seine Finger abschneide, kann es als sehr grausam gedeutet werden. Aber... Wenn ich ihn zur Mauer schicke und er hat eine Familie, ist das eigentlich noch viel grausamer. Deswegen schneide ich 3 Finger ab.
I, Ethan of Haus Forrester, Lord of Ironwrath, name you a thief.
Kill him.
The price for your crime is 3 of your fingers.
Help! Please, my lord! My lord, please!
My lord, normally it is the Lord's duty to carry out the sentence.
Ja, ich glaube, ich mach's.
But I am willing to carry it out.
I will carry out the sentence.
This is injustice, my lord!
Das Urteil eines Lords.